Alright, welcome back. Today we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends Green Goblin Build-A-Figure Wave Carnage from about 2014. This was pretty much the Amazing Spider-Man 2 tie-in line for Build-A-Figures, I suppose. And this was my first Carnage figure, so this one holds a lot of nostalgia value with me, even though it does reuse the Bucky Cat mold, but this was before it was overused to all hell and back, and I would say that this is more of a fitting use of it, considering it's, you know, the more comic version of Carnage. I don't know which specific one, please don't ask me. So yeah, no accessories. Well, no, that's actually a bit of a lie, because there's this back piece that comes off. See, you got this gaping hole in his back. Hey, what? Anyway, you know, so that you can insert this giant mass of Dead Space tentacles here, dude. You know, the last time I saw this many tentacles, it involved this Japanese cartoon. And you know what? Now, I'm not going to finish that story. So yeah, really well done. They're pre-sculpted, but they're very flexible, I guess. They're not articulated or anything. Really cool. And so you just plug that bitch right into his back. There we go. So now I will say this figure may not be in perfect condition, because, you know, when I was a kid I played the shit out of this with this thing, you know. So no, he did not snort the devil's dandruff here. He did not take a line. That's just some white paint from one of this shelving units I had or some shit. Maybe he took a fell and something, but I don't know. Quite a bit of paint chipping. I do believe his arm's on the verge of falling off here, so I gotta be careful with that arm, but yeah. So the head sculpt, though, beautifully done. Absolutely beautifully done. So very great, comic accurate. I almost do wish these lines were sculpted, kind of like on the more modern recent one, but I don't know, it's fine. I mean, in the original comics, most of the time, these didn't look like they were, you know, sculpted. They just looked like they were part of the paint scheme, which I really do like. Again, Carnage's design is so fucking cool. This is why he's like my favorite Marvel villain. The design is so baller. It is so fit. It is so immaculate. Marvel can't make another character like this if they wanted to. So, but yeah, really great. Well done. The face is absolutely perfect. You know, the nice white eyes, the perfect sculpt, you know, the perfect shape too. Almost Todd McFarlane-esque. I love it. So then moving on to the body, it's Bucky Cat mold, so all the sculpture is pretty good around the board. Paint's really well done too. You know, this piece does kind of stand out like a sore thumb at times, but you're not going to be looking at it from the back, so yeah, perfectly fine most of the time, I would say. Arms, pretty good too. The forearms, I'd say, are this really cool, kind of long, kind of barely. I would say they're a bit stretched out, but that could just be the giant hands on display here. And yes, each forearm does have a tendril or two coming out of it. This one's different because these are two tiny ones. This one's more of a long hooked one. On this hand, we've got a sort of fisted, you know, pose. And again, these hands are really cool too, because they've got these giant claws on them. So really cool, really cool. Are they big? Yes. But are they fitting? Yes. So more of that great paint scheme, which yes, it does break the sculpt and paint if you move, but who gives a shit? You know, the back, decent sculpture as well. Oh, come the fuck on. There we go. Legs, really well done too. Not much to really talk about here, but I mean, the paint is really well done, so very fitting of the character. Very accurate. And then more tendrils at the bottom here, and then his feet. So for articulation, we've got the ball joint head that's on a rocker here, so you can pretty much get him to look all the fucking way up. Not decently down. It's mostly for swivels though, and the looking. Ab crunch. I mean, the joint has become fucking loose because of the amount of times I played with this when I was a kid. So yeah, you can get him to go pretty far forward, back to straight up spinal posture, you know. swivel at the waist, which yes does break the sculpt, but I do prefer this over what they've recently adopted, where the ab crunches here instead of here, and then there's a ball joint here instead. I don't like that anywhere near as much as this. I feel like you can get much better poses out of this. Arms go forward, backward, almost, yeah, up and over like that too, out to the side and in pretty far, so you can get some good articulation with it. Again, the Bucky cap mold itself has really good articulation, I'd say. Beautiful double bended jointed elbow, and then a hinge slash swivel at the wrist. But on this one, you can't really get it to go down more so as you can get it to go up, whereas this one is more of a, no, never mind, I lied. So legs don't go very, well, they go a bit back, but they mostly go out, forward, a decent amount out, not completely. You can't get them to do the splits. There's also a swivel at the thigh, double jointed knee, and then I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off and say it. This is always useless articulation. It just breaks up the sculpt and it adds another piece of, you know, articulation that doesn't need to be there. I don't think you need a fucking bend or a swivel at the mid calf here. Just don't do that. It's a fucking waste. Every time I see that, I deduct points because it's a waste. You know, the amount of time you took making this, as opposed to just making a single solid piece here, is genuinely wasteful. Like if you want to improve the leg articulation, don't put a swivel where you anatomically can't. You know, doesn't, like, I know it's a figure, but still, for the love of God, don't do that. Just don't do that, please. And then there's a hinge and sort of rock at the foot. Now, with all that said, what do I think? This figure still holds quite a bit of value to me and treasure. While yes, Hasbro did come out and make a better one, this one I still feel is more traditional 90s comic accurate. And even though the other one is absolutely beautiful, blows this one out of the water, this one's just got an appeal that ultimately just can't be beat. And it is a much better use of the Bucky cap mold, I will say. So as for procuring this, good luck. I mean, Hasbro did essentially re-release this figure just with more accessories during their first Venom Build-A-Figure wave. But good luck finding either of those, because as per usual, characters like these get scalped to hell. So, but I would still recommend getting it if you like it. So, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.